Shalom and welcome. Much like the previous video, this one will also be about one of the Semitic Abjads. However, in this episode, there will be much more details about the family tree of all of these scripts, as well as basically alphabetical writing in general. First of all, here are some facts about the Semitic Abjads. All of them don't normally use vowels. Most of them have 22 basic letters. This kind of includes Arabic. Yes, these six are considered separate letters, but every single one of them is ultimately a variant of one of the classic Semitic letters. All right, now let's take a look at the current supposed family tree of the most well-known Semitic Abjads and some of their neighbors. Please keep in mind that I am not a professional linguist, and all of the relations between the writing systems as well as the dates of their invention are taken from the internet and are not by any means the objective truth. And yes, it begins from right to left, because that's the standard direction for abjads. In the very end of the previous video, I made a mistake, stating that the Samaritan script originates directly from Proto-Sinaitic. Of course, I should have said that it derives from the Paleo-Hebrew script, which is basically just a slightly different form of the Phoenician script. What's also worth mentioning is that, just as with languages, some writing systems form a kind of continuum, evolving gradually from one into the other. Sometimes they are just intentionally invented by a small group of people, like the Hangul script used in Korea or the Adlam script used in various West African countries. Another little mistake in the previous video was calling the Thana script an Abjad. It kind of can be used as an abjad if we omit diacritics, but officially, these vowel diacritics are written all of the time. Thus, it is something in between an abjad, an abugida, and an alphabet. This diagram might seem rather complex and confusing. That's because every now and then the humanity all around the world has been inventing new ways to write down their languages. In some cases, just borrowing some existing system works just fine. But sometimes inventing a new script is a necessity. Some of you might wonder, where are the Chinese and the Japanese characters in this diagram, as well as the indigenous writing systems of the Americas? Well, most of them are completely disconnected from the topic of this video because they form their own branches of mostly logographic writing systems, which means that the number of characters in them is much larger than in abjads, abugidas, and alphabets. We will discuss these beautiful scripts and their family trees in the future videos. Alright, enough of general knowledge about writing systems. Let's finally focus on the Samaritan script itself. As was mentioned before, the Samaritan Abjad is basically a direct descendant from the Phoenician script, along with the Aramaic Abjad and the Greek alphabet. And what makes the Samaritan one special? Well, obviously the other two descendants of the Phoenician script are much more influential and arguably much more interesting. However, there's plenty of material in the internet about those two already. Take a look at this world map that I took from Wikipedia and slightly modified. What it shows is that basically the whole planet writes and reads their languages using symbols, which descend directly either from Greek, Aramaic, or the ancient Chinese characters. There are only a handful of exceptions. One of such exceptions is the Samaritan script. Currently, less than 1,000 people use it in only 2 small Samaritan communities. But back in the day, before the Byzantine Empire and its successors, the number of Samaritans was much larger. Now let's get back to the Abjad itself. Just as the majority of the Semitic Abjads, the Samaritan one consists of 22 letters which follow the standard order. However, over time, a few unique sound shifts have occurred in the Samaritan Hebrew and Samaritan Aramaic, which sets them apart from ancient Hebrew and Arabic. For example, the letters wa and fi sometimes make a b sound, and the letters from the other Semitic-speaking people pronounce as he and he are basically silent. Wow, I didn't expect this to take over 4 minutes. All right. Maybe pronouncing every single letter, as in the previous videos, is a little bit redundant, but the individual slides have already been prepared, so I offer you to take a look at the letters, while something uncopyrighted and soothing plays in the background. All right, I think that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know in the comments what writing systems you guys are interested in. Also, make sure to check out Alphabetical Dice at cults3d.com. I believe that this project helps to preserve and spread the knowledge of various writing systems, both those that have fallen out of active use and those which we use today. Also, the custom polyhedra are cool. Okay, bye.